How did these last 2 years help you get established?
Just putting in work and getting to where I am today. Just that's all it is. Working, sitting behind guys and learning and playing alongside people and just listening to the vets. I'm blessed to be in the Eagles organization where I come into a room and I got Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, Jason Kelce, and Landon Dickerson, Isaac Samala. Like, it's crazy all the vets that I had when I came in here and how much I was able to learn. So it's easy to get to the point where I am to learn all this as long as, somebody's coming in and putting in the work. Yeah, one over there.
Kelsey's been around the facility a lot in the offseason, has a locker in the coach's room. How much is he still in your ear, or are you looking at this like you got to kind of forge your own way now?
I think he's always there if I need to call upon and ask him some questions. So I know I can rely on that if I get stuck and need some help or something like that.
When you were at Art, were you kind of like going through what calls you would make, and like were you kind of comparing it to what Jason called last year?
Just making sure we're all on the same page. If I thought it was something and he may have thought something different, then we can talk through it and see which one we wanted to do. I don't think it was too much comparing, but just making sure that we're in the right call. How are we going to handle the blitz calls? I think that's all of us. It's different because it's a process. If a tackle's job is to look at a certain spot and see if a safety's rolling down or somebody's covered, and a guard spot may be to look at a different position, and center's supposed to look at a little bit of everything. Everybody's feeding each other information, and same thing with the quarterback. All our calls are feeding each other. It's nothing's going to be all on one person's plate, and that's kind of how it's always been. It's how it's.
Kelce didn't take a little more of the responsibilities there.
He did. He just saw a lot of it, and it probably took some off of the other people's responsibilities. But yeah, it's full. Everybody's looking, and they have their own responsibilities, especially when it comes to the blitz game.
You weren't a center to follow on that, because so it was more like you saw it. Kelsey just saw it first before someone else said that.
I think everybody saw it, So it's still very similar to what it's been, and everybody's got their own responsibility and job, like it has been. So it was never all on one person's plate, and it's not going to be like that anymore, and it never was.
You weren't at center last year, but you guys had trouble late in the year picking up blitzes. When you go back and look at that as you try to correct it for this year, what do you think was happening in terms of you were so good at early that it kind of fell off later in the year?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just making sure we're in the right play and figuring out, hey, if we're not in the right play and if we're not in the right protection, can it still work? And making sure we have the right hots and things go along with it. And I think we got in too much trouble last year making sure everything's perfect. And when you try to make everything perfect, it's not always going to be perfect. And so if you can make sure that you have answers to a lot of things, whether you're in a perfect call or if you're in a not perfect call, that helps a lot of the things out.
When you think back to your rookie season, you got a lot of those snaps when Jason was injured. How much did that help you in hindsight?
Yeah, I mean, I played center in college, and I played center right when I got here, and now I'm back at center. And so that helps just be able to feel a little bit of the game out and getting to play those preseason games and get along with the team. Jalen was a quarterback back then when I was playing center all throughout camp, and now I get to go through another camp with him. And so that communication just kind of picks back up and evolves throughout camp, and so I think that helps a ton. So, thanks, guys.